On the 23rd of May, 1943, it was a sunny Sunday lunchtime. The streets of the town centre were teeming with people. Hotel dining rooms were full of guests enjoying a roast dinner, and young children played together. The residents of Bournemouth were by now familiar with wartime incidents. There had already been 47 of them. The Luftwaffe had dropped their bombs on the town and civilians had been killed, homes and businesses destroyed. Since the outbreak of the war, the air raid siren had sounded many times. On the fateful day, no one could have imagined the complete and utter terror that was to come. In the space of a little over a minute, death and destruction on a scale never before seen hit the town. Bournemouth had suffered its worst air raid of the war. After the bombs finished dropping and the dust began to settle, approximately 131 people were dead. Many hundreds lay injured, and scores of buildings were damaged or destroyed. The true loss of life may never ever be known. The attack on the 23rd of May was a carefully planned and executed strike, aimed at the brave pilots that protected our skies. Bournemouth had become a mecca for pilots needing rest and recuperation. Australian, Canadian, and many British air crews filled the beautiful hotels and guest houses in the town. They recovered from wounds and stresses caused by the war. 26 Focke-Wulf 190 aircraft took off from their base in France, staying low across the water under the radar at full speed. So fast was the raid that Bournemouth had practically no warning of the incoming attack. The German planes flew over Hengersbury Head and followed the railway line at Southbourne right into Bournemouth. The first bombs dropped in the Queen's Park area in Boscombe and Springbourne. A child's hostel at number 38 Carlton Road took a hit, killing a woman and a 4-year-old boy. At 54 Drummond Road, a mother and her 2 children and an elderly man were killed. The areas bombed are marked in red. The Shamrock and Rambler garage in Lansdowne was hit, killing 2 employees and destroying 15 buses. Sadly, one of Bournemouth's landmark hotels, the Metropole, was struck by a single bomb, which blew a large section of the facade to pieces. Officially, it was reported that 37 people died, but the real number may never be known, as bodies were blown to pieces and lay strewn over a large area. Others would succumb to injuries in the days and weeks ahead. Windows were machine gunned down Old Christchurch Road. West's Cinema and Cannes House, the offices of Bournemouth Chamber of Trade, were also hit, where a 21-month-old child and his grandmother were killed. Bill's department store took a direct hit and was almost completely destroyed. But, above all else, the loss of life was greatest at the Central Hotel. A single bomb was responsible for at least 54 lives, which included 7 Australian airmen and 6 US Army personnel. The blast also toppled the spire of the Puncheon Memorial Church. As the bombers turned and flew back towards France, Bobby's department store was also hit and heavily damaged. The pleasure gardens were machine gunned, hitting airmen and civilians running for cover. One plane was brought down by gunners on the roof of the East Cliff Court Hotel, which then crash landed on the roof of the St Ives Hotel on Grove Road. So fast was this attack that British fighters could only follow the German planes out to sea, as the people of Bournemouth were left to deal with the aftermath. In the days that followed, with typical British pluck, the people of Bournemouth picked themselves up and carried on. A concert was played at the Winter Gardens the same day so as to show the enemy we could not be terrorised. Within a week, trolley buses were back up and running, and the roads were open within a month.